Hey, here we are, another session. Look at that. Ooh. Love that. I just surprise myself every day. Listen, we can't work any way. I picked up this book just now. I read a page from this every single day. It's a Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday, and you get this from my site. It's a leather edition. It's absolutely fantastic. It's only £100, but it's full of so much value. A lot of people go, just about £100 for a book. That's a lot of money. Is it really? Like, value's what you pay. This is valuable. Like, the content is valuable. This is quality, but the content is valuable. And well, you can get the paperback as well if you want. It's probably $15. But this is priceless for me. It's great. So the 2nd of August it reads, we can work anyway. Right, and so we can work anyway. A lot of people will find an excuse, and the only thing worse than an excuse is a good excuse, right? And they let circumstances, external circumstances, like dictate what their moves are. And for the most part, they're making their moves based on what they think other people think as well, right? And so everything is external for them, nothing's internal. And so I want you to get used to not living by the rules of other people, but living by your rules and be willing to break them as well. It was brought to mind Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said a speech. He said, break the rules. Don't break the law, but break the rules. And that reminds me of what an entrepreneurial individual is, or an entrepreneur, right? The only difference between like the drug dealer on the street, entrepreneur, and your entrepreneur who makes his money legitimately, one follows the law and one doesn't. It's the only difference between them. They both display the exact same characteristic traits. One follows the law, one doesn't. They both break the rules. They both reinvent the rules and break them as well. They expect and demand success. They attack for success. There is competition. And they beat it. And that's it. Well, the ones that don't, well, they don't come first. You have to beat first place to get first, right? Anyway, I want to read this piece to you, and I'll probably get a couple of words wrong, whatever. That's what it is, imperfect action and all that. I'm Scottish, I don't do English. Right? You might think I speak English, kind of with a funny twang. Anyway, 2nd of August, it reads, indeed, how could excel be an obstacle to a person's own cultivation or to attaining virtue when no one has ever been cut off from learning or practice what is needed by exile? So that was Monsunus Rufus from Lectures, right? It goes into say the pages and the points and stuff. But anyway, late in his life, after a surgery, Theodore Roosevelt, you'll know that name, was told that he might be confined to a wheelchair for the remainder of his days. With his trademark emulance, he responded, all right, I can work that way too. This is how we can respond to even the most disabling turns of fate, by working within whatever room is left. Nothing can prevent us from learning. In fact, difficult situations are often opportunities for their own kinds of learning, even if they're not the kinds of learning we'd have preferred. See, nothing really is as you would prefer. Nothing is going to be fully convenient. Like, there is going to be obstacles. Shit is going to go wrong. People are going to say shit. People are going to think it, right? People are going to throw a spanner in the works for you as well, right? And really, you need to just rely on yourself and be that individual who is all-knowing and all-confident in himself. How do you create that individual, by the way, that's all-knowing and all-confident in himself? Well, you stack the wins every single day. You stop lying to yourself and you start being truthful to yourself, right? You just acknowledge where you're at and start where you are. And then build upon that. Just like pick one promise and fulfill it in your day. Do that for a week. Pick 2. Do that for another couple of weeks. Pick 3. Do that for another few weeks. Pick 4. Pick 5. Right? You learn to trust yourself again. It's going to do something. Follow through with it. Set your alarm and get up by it, and don't hit the snooze button. That's great, because if you hit the snooze button, you've lied. Listen, things out. It's talking about there about things happening, right? He's being confined to a wheelchair. He's like, yeah, I can work this way too. That's fine, right? In other words, how I look at things, that's good. And you look for the good in the situation because you can still do it, right? There's people who are actually worse off, if you want to go down that route, that are doing far better, right? There's people with no freaking limbs that are actually out there doing speeches and keynote speeches and giving courses and providing and adding value and giving inspiration to other people. Right, there you are with all your limbs not doing anything. What's this daily vlog? Well, to inspire somebody, they might hear something from it. And really, it's just to hold me to account as well, to constantly and never-ending improving. Because for me to bring this, I need to read, I need to add value to me, to bring value to you, I need to, right? And so it's ever evolving. So all we're really doing is stepping into the attributes of God. And I will continue with this in a second, which is to evolve, expand, add value. God doesn't stop for you, but he continues to add life to you. He continues to breathe life into you. And so, okay, if success leaves clues, then how can I breathe life into myself and others around about me? How can I add value to myself so I become more valuable and take that to the world? Right. So, Rufus, I think that's his name, for his part, was exiled 3 times, twice by Nero and once by Vespasian. Get back to me if I got that wrong. I probably did, but hey, it's alright. But being forcibly expelled from his life and his home didn't impinge on his study of philosophy. So he found a way to do it. He found a way. Do you find a way? Do you find a way to do what you need to do what you said that you were going to do, even when it's not convenient? In his way, he responded by saying, all right, I can work that way too. And he did, managing to squeeze in some time between exiles with a student named Epictetus, and thus helping bring Stoicism to the world. And so what could you bring to the world? Who could you teach? What value are you adding to yourself to then add to the world? What nourishment are you taking on board? And I'm not just talking about what you eat and what you consume. See, what you consume, it comes in multiple ways. The environment, what you consume. Have you got a coach, a mentor? Because that's been around the individuals who you want to be around. The people who are further ahead than you. Get around these people, learn from these people, ultimately apply what they are teaching you by word of mouth, by what they give you in literature, and by their actions, right? Watch how they walk, watch how they conduct themselves, watch how they carry themselves, watch how they hold themselves. Listen to how they speak, listen to the tonality, listen to the way that they express their words, listen to the way they come down and show understanding and compassion. Look at the kindness that they add to the world, that they give to the world. They give to the world. They're always doing something for somebody else. They can't do anything else in return. They don't tell anybody about it either, because they know it's about the act of doing it and not the act of, hey everybody, look at what I just done. But they always do it now. And they always put everything on the line. I've got a very good friend. He's worth 1.6 billion. He's put everything on the line because he believes in himself. Everything on the line. He should literally put everything on the line. I was like, wow. The only difference between me and him is the amount of zeros at the end of our balances, right? And the amount of assets as well. There's a guy, 1.6 billion, puts everything on the line for his venture. Why? Well, he believes in himself. And you could hear the energy in his voice. You could see the energy, right? Almost like it's like, get to work. I'm making this fucking happen. This will happen. He expects and demands it of himself, like it's just natural to him now, right? He's put himself into that place of his, like he just gets to work. Do you get to work? Do you put yourself in that place but then shrink away? Because you can't. Electricity doesn't do that. Energy doesn't do that. Success leaves clues, and the fucking light bulb came on. There's a clue for you. It just done it. It just went. It just done as it was told. Didn't even need told. Switch on. That's what you need to do. Switch yourself on and get to work. Light the room. Add the value. Be the light and the way. What way are you going? any what way that you want to go. Anyway, I'll leave you with this. Acknowledge the rules. If you need to break them, you break the rules. Make your own. Live by your rules. Be willing to break them as well. Ultimately, there is no lid. There is no box. There is no boundaries unless you say there is. Do you choose boundaries, or do you choose to live unleashed? Do you choose to live free and make every choice from freedom? Somebody who says, you're too much. Maybe you don't see yourself as enough. Well, you've went too far. You've not went far enough. You don't really know what's possible for you. I'll get to that. Nah, just do it now. So we are. Break the rules. Make the rules. Drown out the noise and get productive.